things that trigger LEGO Marvel fans Part 19! Here we have Thanos the Mad Titan. I didn't even know who Thanos was back then. But after watching Guardians of the Galaxy, he became one of my favorite Marvel villains of all time. But perhaps he's also a hero in some way. But hey, that's just a theory, and we don't talk about those. Anyways, Thanos has had a lot of minifigures and big figs over the years. And while LEGO Marvel fans love some of them, others despise them with a passion. Take the 2018 big figure. Now technically this uses the same mold from the 2016 Thanos, and a lot of people think it's lazy. What really bothers fans is that the arms cannot really move all the way, just a little bit to the back and a little bit to the front. And when will LEGO make big figures with articulated legs? Plus his sword looks like a butter knife. For Avengers Endgame we got this Thanos. It's also really lazy. It's great that LEGO made a new mold for Thanos, cause this looks really good. Don't get me started on these. And yes, there is a Mighty Micro Thanos, and yeah, that's really funny. Oh yeah, and let's not forget Gamora from What If. She's technically Thanos, the destroyer of Thanos, but as I've been saying throughout this series, why is Gamora? I really hope in the future, LEGO can make more articulated big figures. And I say this as a stop-motion animator because it's really difficult to animate big figures. Because at the time, only the arms could move. And since this is the second time LEGO has made a rotating head for a big figure, Roadhog from Overwatch being the first, we should get more of them. Especially for Hulk. So come on LEGO, we need more articulated big figures! When are we gonna get them? When? And why? Here we have the Avengers compound battle. And honestly, I'm kinda mixed about this set. Now we do see the compound in Endgame. This isn't really accurate. Of course we get Nebula and Iron Man. And yeah, I guess it's good that we have a micro figure of Ant-Man. But it's kind of strange that Hulk is smiling. But to me, these minifigures are just whatever. And there's nothing really special about the interior. We also get this car and a helicopter. What's really weird is that this car has a stud shooter in the back. Why? I don't know. The helicopter feels more pointless. We get another rotating stud shooter cannon. I think LEGO should make the Thanos copter instead. I really feel like Marvel missed out on making the Thanos copter for Endgame. At least we get a reference to it in Loki. Why can't LEGO make the Thanos copter? Why? Here we have the Chitauri, the worst army in the MCU. I mean, they're like battle droids from the Phantom Menace. We've got plenty of variants over the years. I got this minifigure recently, and yeah, I think it's still good. We got 4 of these in 2 2019 sets, and just recently, we got 3 of these this year. While they aren't the best soldiers, I think they'll be good for a battle pack. I think it'll be a great set to make for next year. When are we gonna get sets for the Chitauri, LEGO? When? And why? So last week, I was at Brickpalooza, and I found this set. It wasn't cheap, but at least I have this Wolverine minifigure, and Deadpool. This is in fact the only set he comes in, so he's really expensive. This is a really cool set. Except those flip-firing missiles. At least they have a unique color. I am missing the top piece for this helicopter, and that's kind of unfortunate because since this set is used and old, it does this all the time. They just break off really easily. Same thing with all of these, just by pushing it down very, very lightly too. Why? The Infinity Gauntlet is the most powerful weapon of all time. The fact that it can wipe out half of all life is really unnerving. But LEGO's Gauntlet is so weird. The design of this is just really strange because the Gauntlet has 2 Infinity Stones on 1 finger, and that's just not accurate at all. The stones are honestly too big as well. Plus, when this came out back in 2018, you had to buy every single set to get all the stones. And if you were lucky enough to get all those sets back then, you know, good job. At least you can get them all in the advent calendar. Of course, we got different versions like the Nano Gauntlet, plus one that can fit over a minifigure's hand. And then we have the Helmet Series Infinity Gauntlet. This is really awesome. You can even move the fingers around like this and, oh snap. And I like how you can take the stones off. Well, almost in some way, but you know what I mean. Here we go. Here's the other side. Unfortunately, not all the pieces are gold. That kind of is bothersome, because there are no brown or nougat colors. But then again, it might increase the price. This set isn't perfect, but I like it for what it is. If only we could wear this. But what really confuses me is that this was released alongside the Helmet series, when this is technically a glove. I just hope LEGO can make a wearable gauntlet in the future. And maybe a nano gauntlet. When are we gonna get a wearable gauntlet, LEGO? When? And Hey, how come I didn't get a segment in things that trigger LEGO Marvel fans? I'm one of the rarest Marvel minifigures of all time, and I only get a mention? This series makes no sense. I should have had my own segment in this series. And sure, there's one more episode in this season, but all of that is reserved for Iron Man related stuff and probably one more Spider-Man set. I mean, if I'm barely gonna be in this series, what's the point of me being here? I mean, SC Dude literally has 2 of us here. But the worst part about all of this is that we have to wait a whole frickin' year for season 2. Why? Just why?